Hey everybody, and welcome back to another emoji speed pixel. I don't know what this is. For those of you who are here for the last one, you know what this is already. For those of you who are new to this series, basically we have a Discord specifically for my Evolve Pixel channel, link in the description, and I've been making custom emojis for it. And what I thought I would do is film the process and show you guys. So here we go. So today actually we're not even starting with actually making a new emoji, but rather adjusting an old one. I made this little happy dance emoji, which at the time I was very happy about, but as I sort of came to look at it, I realised that it really wasn't working for what I wanted. I kind of wanted something that's a bit more obviously happy. As you can see, it's very hard to put a smiley face or anything like that on something of that size. But if we go for something like the arms raised, which is obviously what we have done, then it is much more obvious. So yeah, we finished that off, and now we are getting to work on the new emojis. There will be 4 new emojis in this video today, and this is going to be the very first one. This is the blue egg. Now this one was suggested by Player Pixel, and I have to admit I was kind of a little hesitant because I've done a couple of Player Pixel based ones already, and I was afraid that maybe I was becoming a little too heavy or reliant on a single person. But blue and egg have both been staples in the chats of my streams courtesy of Player Pixel, and they have been used by other people as a result of that. Therefore I decided that actually this blue egg will be a particularly good one. If you have any suggestions for emojis or anything like that, the Discord link is down below. I would strongly recommend using that link. Now as you see, we actually used the original egg emoji, which was already on the Discord. It's basically the standard egg emoji, and we basically use that to kind of get a rough shape. Now this isn't actually the shape that I stick with, but it does at least give us a very good starting point. Now you see we're obviously doing a little bit of shading there, basically just to kind of give it almost a bit of a little tone to it, just so it doesn't look flat, so that it does actually look rounded, that there is actually sun, that it looks real. Yes, I know it is pixel art, it is not real, but it does at least look at it. Now this was my attempt to make a crack in the egg. It was an idea I had for something I thought that might make the egg look pretty good, but in the end I decided against it because it just simply wasn't working. Now sort of looking at the egg and thinking, I need to adjust the line, I'm not quite sure I like it. At this point you'll notice that it may look like there's little cuts, things like that, because what I do is sort of, when I'm at this point and I think, okay, this could work, what I normally do is post the picture to the Discord, because that will show me it in the size that it would appear as an emoji, and that gives me the opportunity to look at it the way that everybody else is going to see it. And seeing it that way will of course teach me if there are problems. For example, you can see here that I'm actually working on the shading. I'm changing that because I looked at the shading in the Discord and I thought, no, it just wasn't working. I liked the shading, I thought the shading was good, but in the end it didn't work. Sometimes you have to go with much thicker lines to really give the effect that you need, because sometimes unfortunately it's just not that visible. And as you see, I zoomed out to sort of check the shading, and immediately I was like, yeah, I like the shading, but then I sort of realised I didn't particularly like the shape of the egg. I thought, okay, the egg needs to be changed, and in the end, well, I did cheat a little bit in the fact that I did just copy and paste to try and give it sort of a much more rounded shape. I know eggs are not perfectly round, but they are rounded nonetheless. So you see, I copied that and I moved that over a little bit. And there we go. Now we actually have the shape of the egg that we use in the Discord itself, and that does look a lot more like an egg, if I do say so myself. And you see, we take the shading and we get that done, and there we go. At this point I was actually happy with it. I was going to post that on the Discord, and I did actually post that on the Discord, and then courtesy of Player Pixel, he recommended that maybe we should have some spots on it to kind of differentiate it from the other egg, and I actually thought that was a fantastic idea, so much so that I actually did it. Now we are moving away from the egg because that is now finished. We are heading straight on to the next emoji, which of course is the flower pot, or specifically the plant in the flower pot. Now, anyone who's been here for a long period of time knows in my Minecraft Let's Plays that my appreciation for Minecraft flowers is something of a running joke, so it only made sense that one of the custom emojis I added is going to be a flower. Now you actually notice here what we're making is an incredibly basic plant. What I needed to do was take this very basic look, which is what I made now, and post that to the Discord, which I did, and then see exactly how it looks. I've already done that, and I've already noticed all the problems. So now we're expanding the petals of the flower to make it look more like a flower, and it's certainly coming along nicely. See, now the plant looks a lot better, but the yellow inside looks a little quiet, so we bring that out, we extend that, and we put a little dot in the middle to kind of differentiate the colours a little bit. That flower is looking a lot better, but the stem isn't so great, so it needs obviously a bit of shading, which is what we did. And then it came time to actually doing the pot. And this is kind of my original attempt at the pot. I do actually change it a bit later because I realised that I could do a much better job with the pot. That it looks very 2D right now, and it needs to kind of have a 3D side to it. It needs to have some more depth to it. So this is kind of what I go for now, but then you can see here, this is when I kind of looked at it and thought, no, actually I can make this better. This is when I decided to add some depth to it. You can see there it is, and we're actually turning it into a 3-dimensional pot so that you can actually see the top of it. Now obviously I filled that in with brown to represent soil, and then I decided to add a few little bits of rocks and stone, which is a trick I got from Minecraft, and it's very, very good. And there we go, that is the pot emoji. Nice and simple, it didn't really take that long, and honestly I think it looks really good. Now this one is an interesting one because this is something I normally don't show, or rather should I say, this is something that artists don't normally show, which is a complete and utter failure. This is basically the original attempt for the EP rage emoji, and I was trying to come up with some kind of a circle for a face, and it just didn't work. And then I went through several iterations. You can see I completely deleted that, and then I went for another one, and it also just didn't work. I just wasn't able to get a face, so I actually did a little bit of, to use air quotes, cheating, because I ended up copying and pasting another design. Now the actual reason why I don't consider it proper cheating is because the design I copied was specifically a template for pixel art characters, but it is a template that I created myself, and therefore I don't exactly consider it cheating. But this is the point where I gave up and I decided to start using that template, and this is it. If you have seen my slime archer picture, then you will recognize this template because I used that for Beatrice LeBeau, and I've actually made quite a few different characters with it, although all for pixel art projects that haven't yet been released. I put that character down there to kind of represent myself, and now this is obviously the EP rage emoji. So naturally rage tends to bring out swearing, but I don't want to swear, and I don't want to have swear words in an emoji. So instead what I do is I use a single black line tool to create symbols, because you'll notice a lot of the time when swearing is censored on the internet, they'll use these symbols to represent that, or specifically they'll just use symbols on a keyboard. So we do that, and then we bring that all into red, because red is well, not only is it the evolved pixel colour, but it is also the colour of anger, it's the colour of rage. You have often heard the expression seeing red, and it's very much from there. We create the face and the hair, and we actually, if memory serves, we actually go for a pink, which again I actually kind of borrow the skin tone from something else. That was my attempt to make it look flustered, and then that didn't work, and I made it red. And this goes through several iterations of colour, because I sort of, at this angle I'm looking at it, it's easy to understand, but you really have to zoom out and you have to see it how it is on the Discord before you can tell. But I like to have at least a basic finished, to use the word product very loosely, I like to have a finished drawing before I upload it to the Discord, because then at least I can see all the problems with all the parts rather than just worrying about one or two individual parts. You see, obviously we made a t-shirt, and I just went for a very bog standard blue t-shirt. I thought about making the red one like what I wear in the EP Happy Dance emoji, but the thing is that because I made the face red, I wanted to differentiate. But as you can see, I've actually already given up with the red face because it just didn't work. Now the skin tone was completely off, so again this is kind of a borrowed skin tone, and in that I mean I borrowed it from my own work. But yeah, there we are. That is the EP Rage emoji, and finally we are having a throwback to what I would argue as one of the genesis of this channel. It's definitely one of the genesises. It is the Galacticraft rocket. Now Galacticraft was a series I did for quite a while. I believe actually that it extended well into this year, so this was something that did go on for a while, but unfortunately I did eventually get to a point where I had done everything. I had done everything that there was to do on Galacticraft, and there really just wasn't anything else to do. I have to be honest, I do miss playing that game. As fun as Sky Factory is, I suppose I found it quite comfortable because I had done it for so long. But that's also a very good reason to do something else, because sometimes you need to not feel comfortable. But as you can see, it's a very simple design. It was a very simple design in the game, but it's certainly something people remember. Now I actually decided to go for sort of a striped shading pattern. That isn't how it was in the game. I just felt it worked for the emoji, and I have to admit, if you actually see the emoji, it does look really, really good. And with that, we are done. Wow, weren't they amazing? I'm totally not recording this in advance of actually making them. They were amazing. I especially loved insert emoji here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you real soon.